So, some of you may or may not know, what video editing program do I use? I've been using Camtasia, and that's kind of what I've been using for, honestly, the majority of my time on YouTube. There have been a few times where I've had to delve into Premiere, or I've tried to delve into Adobe Premiere. And in fact, that is actually what I was trying to do with this most recent episode of Persona 5 Strikers. And I actually had some help from Ema, Ema, are you still here? He actually helped me quite a bit because he is someone who really knows Adobe Premiere very well. If I'm talking like the differences between Camtasia and Adobe Premiere is without a doubt a more powerful program. It is, absolutely. But it is not intuitive. It is not intuitive by any means. It has got layers upon layers upon menus upon fucking menus of shit that you gotta dig through to get some of the most basic bitch shit in it. Camtasia, you don't have to dig very far, all right? It's not super deep, but oh man, you can do some pretty cool stuff with Camtasia. All the edits that I did with the analytics and all the dumb skits I did, those were all done in Camtasia. And it's funny because I don't see a lot of people talk about it. A lot of people talk about Premiere, but they don't talk much about Camtasia. And after having a discussion with Ema and having him sort of point out to me the benefits of Adobe Premiere and the things that Premiere can do, but also its limitations, because there are things that I have tried to find myself in the program that I couldn't find, but I also couldn't know for certain that it wasn't there. I'd look up tutorials, but sometimes I wouldn't find stuff, but sometimes it's there. You just gotta dig. I don't even know if I can call Camtasia one of the top dogs. Like, it kind of is, but the thing about Camtasia is I think it's probably designed more for like presentations and office things, like for like an office landscape, which is probably why some of the things the problems I have with it are, well, the way they are. I want to talk about that. I've never heard of DaVinci Resolve before. One thing, if you're jumping from any editing program and you have experience with that and you jump to a new one, it's going to be like you're starting from scratch again and you're going to naturally get frustrated, okay? As someone who's like there are things in Camtasia that drive me nuts. Let me just switch to Adobe and everything's going to be magically fixed. It doesn't matter, man. If you jump to any new thing, you're now back to being a basic bitch and you got to sit there and spend hours on hours looking up tutorials online, trying to figure out the most basic thing. And it's insanely frustrating. For example, let me show you what goes into making a video for myself. So one thing you're gonna notice is, for whatever reason, look, I have two versions of Camtasia. Why is that? Because 2021 can suck my dick. I want to use this one so badly because every iteration from 2018, Camtasia basically comes out with the yearly versions that adds new stuff for it. Adds new stuff for the program that's like super cool, like proxies. They just added proxies to 2021 version. I'm like, oh, that sounds so awesome. Unfortunately, the videos don't fucking work. But for whatever reason, this specific version of 2018, and I literally had I remember the day. They basically go by year, right? But then they do like hot fixes for stuff. So you get like 2018.01.02 is you get hot fixes. There's just one day where I had the 2018 version back in 2018 where suddenly my videos just didn't play well in the timeline anymore. And I was like, what? What happened? And so I rolled it back to the specific version that I have here, which, by the way, also has a fuck ton of bugs that I've actually gotten so used to now. This is the 2018 version. So here's like Strikers, Analytics, Strikers, the Kingdom Hearts one. So here, let's open up this. So this is the version that I've been using. I want to actually look up specifically what version it was too. But it's basically the one I've been stuck on for 3+ years. It's got its own set of problems and its own share of bugs. So here we go. This was episode 10 of Persona 5 Striker. Look at all these beautiful cuts. All right, go for this fight. Let's go. So it's playing all right. It's a slight pause. Here we go. But it shows up in the thing there. Okay, cool, right? It's playing, it's relatively smooth. It looks good. I've got all my files here. So let me talk about like sort of the benefits of what Camtasia does, why I've actually stuck with it for so long, and why now I actually know for certain why things about Premiere drive me fucking crazy. It's very streamlined. Everything that you could possibly want is basically all in these little tabs here that you can just kind of get, right? Animations basically are like Premiere's keyframes. I don't really use cursor effects ever. I don't use that. Very basic audio effects. There's actually more in later versions, but like I said, this is an old version. And then I don't even use these two visual effects. If I go down here, this is the thing that I was trying to do in Premiere that I was struggling with. And it was my end cards. To an extent, everybody in the game is fun, you know? It is nice that they sort of expect you to play each character to get their master skills. Okay, you see that? Did you see right there? This is one of the problems with this one. I've gotten used to it, but it's still not perfect. You see watch all the hitches. But playback is not smooth. To an extent, so that everybody looks good, right? Fun, okay, you know, it is nice that they sort of expect you to play each character to get their master skills. It's actually a really good way for you to sort of branch out, and getting those skills really does kind of change how you play them as well. So, all right, guys, again. As always, till next time, stay classy. I've gotten so used to this. I've been doing this for 3+ years. You see, that was not smooth at all. No, the audio is, fortunately. If the audio wasn't, I would probably not have stood for this up to this point. But this is the problem, and as you get more cuts in the timeline, the video is going to become more jittery here. That said, it doesn't even matter if I have much cuts on the timeline. This is always going to happen. So watch this. It's the place. Probably smooth, one of the most fun ones. I think come to a cut here. Watch the image. Is pretty damn fun. Who else? Freeze. Like my favorites here. Horror is surprisingly fun as well. I think those would probably be like my top ones. So this is the problem I've had with it, right? The problem with Camtasia is performance. Actually, I got a little off track there. What I want to talk about was the end card specifically. So this is what I was trying to do in Premiere Pro. And I have something in here that it just basically, I have it set in here. Here are all my end cards that I've been using. Go in here, add Persona 5 Strikers. This is the default template I use. The shape here has an animation that's already added. I already have the size that I want to go to. So what I do is I take it, I copy it, I put it on, for example, if this isn't here, I just take this. I would just copy it on there. It's actually a little, I think it's laggier right now, probably because I'm streaming. It might be slowing it down a bit. And then I would take it and then I would resize it to like that. And then I could just remove the shape and it's done. To an extent, everybody in the game is fun, you know? What makes Camtasia great is that actually it is super good with shapes and doing this kind of work. That's why I think this is actually something that's probably used for a lot of people who work and do presentations or work at the office, because look at this. This shit is actually pretty awesome. If I look at all of the things that are here, you see how these lines keep showing up, these snapping lines? It always makes sure that everything is symmetrical. It's lined up with it. It's touching the edges of something else. This is perfectly centered and lined with the text that is right above it. And this is something that I thought like Premiere probably had by default, and it kind of doesn't. And I'm going to show you guys that in a second. This is what actually makes this super good. And when I work with things like end cards, it's fucking easy. It just works. And it's actually got things that are, while simplified, like you could make in Premiere, you can make your own custom version. Like I made the arrow of the previous, the most recent episode of Persona 5 Strikers is actually an arrow that I made in Adobe After Effects, because that was permanently only way I could actually sort of make this same idea of this arrow going across work. So we're kind of bloop. This one, it's got a bunch of preset shit that just works well. Like Camtasia has what is called behaviors, which are basically these pre-made things that can work with the text that you can create with this. So if I put some text in here and go like blah blah blah, and I want that to like come flying in or jump around or do some stuff. See, again, I have this, but by the way, if I don't want this, I don't want it to snap like this. Go in here, turns off canvas snapping. You're good to go. You want back, turn it back on, or hit the hotkey. Same for the timeline. So I put like a behavior on it. I put it here, and now stretch it out. Woo! It's not like a ton, but you can go in here and edit what you want the style of each part to be in, the in, the during, and the out. So when it comes in, what it's doing in the middle of it, and what it's doing at the end. And it's surprisingly flexible because you can't just do it with just text. You can do it with images. like you can do it with pretty much anything. I could do it with video, and it allows for a surprising amount of depth. And it's like, again, could you do this same thing in Premiere? Yes. Or After Effects? Yes. But you have to do it by custom. This is kind of nice. It's just something I just throw on there, and then I can edit it to how much tension do I want? How big and bouncy do I want to get? This is really nice. There aren't a ton of transitions by default in this, but they work well. It's one of those things where I feel like the limited tool set in a way. So if I want an arrow, it's like right here. I can do this. It's very easy to stretch and point to where you go. From what I could tell, Premiere doesn't have like this ability, right? That's not, at least not something this simple. Basically, Camtasia has simple tools. It's very intuitive. Like everything kind of does what you expect it to do. But is it, again, I'm going to stress again, is it as powerful as like Adobe Premiere or even some of these other ones? Fuck no. Not one chance it is more powerful, or I could do something in this that I probably couldn't do in the other programs. But it's easier to get to, and it lets you, the workflow is good, right? A number of different shapes. I can pixelize things. If there's some naughty bits here, I can put something over here. It pixelizes it. I can choose what the intensity of that is. Oh, mosaic sensor, or blur something or highlight something. I can do easily drawn shapes, which I've done quite a bit for like my reaction review stuff. It works. So what's the problem with Camtasia? It's this shit. It's the shit that, and by the way, the cuts to audio don't affect playback for me. See, look, you're done. No stutter.
Oh my God.
All totally fine. It's only when we get cuts to the video. Gazrack. So next up, Legendary Thief. Square triangle summons is always a hitch. I've gotten so used to it, but it drives me crazy. Similarly, it's also, as time goes on, like as there are more cuts. So like, here's a cut. It starts to slow the program down a bit. If you want to make a cut there or something.
On SP. We'll switch out Sophia and Haru as well.
Yeah, definitely want to get On's Crocodile. It doesn't slow the audio, which is that's the only silver lining to this shit. It doesn't stop the audio, so I can still hear it and play back of it. That's how I can get my beats to like jokes and stuff, right? Even if I can't physically see what the fuck's happening. It's the performance. If this thing performed well, it would be for me, I would be like, this is the best fucking program ever. But this is the shit that's been pissing me off. And it's like scrubbing can be all right. Scrubbing works okay sometimes. That cut took a little bit, but it's all right. This is the problem with Camtasia, and it's been driving me crazy, and I'm like, it makes me want to switch. So I'm like, okay, well then fuck this one, right? Let's just do Premiere. Premiere is going to solve everything, except not really. I'm not a foreigner to Adobe's products. Like I use Photoshop, and I have used Photoshop for years. Photoshop is great, okay? I don't want to throw out there. Adobe Photoshop is very fucking good. I really do not have many complaints against Photoshop. Like if you want like a powerful image editor, I legit think Photoshop is probably one of the best and still is. It's really fucking good, okay? Some of the other ones, like see, Adobe Audition, I mainly use for my microphone. That one's been pretty good too. That one's not too bad. Premiere though, so this is what I spent I swear to God, hours and hours and hours yesterday working on, is getting the end cards for this shit. Oh, that's oh, there it goes. Okay. Took a second to load there. So what's the benefit to Premiere that I've sort of learned, and why I was like, oh, there's some things about this that are so fucking good. It's the performance. If I had to compare the performance of this, look at this shit, man. All those cuts from before in Camtasia that were itching, increased chance of freeze. Cool. So all triangle special attacks. That's neat. Hey, there we go. None.
Fist of justice.
No hitching. Triggering
It's beautiful.
one more follow-up automatically activates the burst.
It's wonderful.
Awesome. I love it.
Give me the power of a god.
It's almost instant. What's even better is the act of actually like cutting on the timeline too. There's no hitches. Like I've actually got a pretty nice system where it's like, all right, create a split, do that, boom, cut, boom.
Power of a god. Oh, get fucked.
All right. I made 2 cuts there, super fast. I probably cut my episode like almost twice as fast than I did in Camtasia. I was like, this is just great. I love this. Awesome. I was like, I'm going to really try to get Premiere and just do what I do normally in Camtasia and Premiere. So I cut the episode normally because I knew that the parts that were going to be tough for me were like the end cards and stuff, but I'm like, I'll figure it out. It's no big deal. I cut the episode. I had basically all this cut out and done.
Get fucked.
It was super simple. Quest complete. I can see everything. I can do everything. Oh, it's so much better. But then the problem I ran into, and Ema can, there's Ema. Ema can attest to how frustrated I was by this shit. So when I got to the end cards. Ow. But anyway, I hope you all enjoy this episode. If you did, please leave a like and a favorite. That took me hours to make. I fucking shit you not. That took me literally hours to make. To make that simple basic shit right there took me hours. Hours. Oh, I was losing my mind. Losing my mind trying to get this shit though, like to do what I wanted to do. Why did it take me this long? Why was it such a pain in the ass? Because it turns out, despite the actual, like, the smoothness of the program itself, like, it really is, like, just cutting and, like, fixing stuff on the timeline is really a great experience, and it plays back wonderfully. And depending on the video types and stuff, like, it doesn't matter. Like, Premiere doesn't give a shit. You can throw whatever you fucking want in this, and it's, like, it treats it the same. Camtasia is not like that. Though, the big problem is the graphics when dealing with shapes. So like you have the graphics panel. This is the essential graphics panel. So let's say I want to make a shape here. So I learned this. I go in here and I do this thing. Get like a rectangle. Cool. Okay. There's a rectangle. I can do the fill and stuff. That's nice. This is good. Okay. We get some lines there. That's cool. But why isn't it sticking to the side here? Why isn't it sticking to the... Wait. Oh, there it is. There. Okay. I just may have to have this in the corner there. There we go. Okay. That sort of... Wait. What? Why isn't it... Okay. Wait. There. Okay. Cool. All right. So let's say I just want to have this... wait. It's gone again. I didn't press anything different. Why did it... Oh. Okay. It's fine. Let's say I want this color block. I want to cover the entire screen. All right. Well, I'm sure there's like an option here, right? Let's just... Scale to frame size. No. Set to frame size. No. No. Oh. Okay. Well, okay. No, it's all right. I'm sure I've got the clipping on, right? I've got the clipping on. Snap graphics. Yeah. So it should be snapping, kinda. I mean, sometimes it does. I'm just gonna. Okay. I pull it out and just. I want to touch the edges. I want the edges of this to... It's not... Okay. Doesn't quite... It's all right. You know what? It's all right. Well, let's get it. Let's go ahead and get my image of my end card here. Put my end card here. Cool. It's kind of big. That's fine. Let's see. I have to click on this specifically in order to actually grab anything. Sometimes. Vector motion? Is that working? No? I have to you have to click specifically moments and oh, there we go. Science is it's so weird about that. Okay. It's not snapping. Why isn't it snapping? I have snap graphics on, but why isn't it snapping? It doesn't work for images. Let me say that again. It doesn't work for fucking... I want that to sink into your brain. It doesn't work for images. It doesn't snap graphics. It sort of does. Okay, there's a slight workaround. The essential graphics panel acts actually like it's sort of like Photoshop in a way. Like you can actually add layers to this. So for example, I could add from a file, I could add this. Can I just drag it up here? No, of course I can't. Why would I be able to do that? It's sort of weird though, because then if I add the image down here, it gets some of the snapping. I get basically the center panel here of, like, for example, you see how I get the line for the center here? That will then show for the image. But it's basically now a singular graphic, right? This graphic is now shape and Striker's JPEG. They are one. So it's like, it sort of turns into like this weird mini faux Photoshop. And it's like, okay, it's kind of works. But again, the snapping is so finicky. It's so finicky in this thing. Like, sometimes it just doesn't work. Oh, you can do this, by the way. This is the other benefit to having this. You can do this. You can snap to the top edge here. If you attach to the bottom there, so like it'll snap to the bottom. You can snap it to the left, snap to the right. It works, but when I resize it, I can't get it to where actually. This is the shit that was driving me up the wall. All right, I was spent hours trying to find, like, I looked at videos online about, I'm like, okay, well, how do I just do graphics? How do I work? What's the basic functions of shapes in this program? Like, how do I just do stuff? Like, I have Snap Graphics on. I watched videos and someone's talking about like, oh, see, if you have Snap Graphics on, you get stuff like this, and you know, you get your lines here that tell you where if it's in the center or not. And then like people were like, I have Snap Graphics on and it's not doing anything. Help me. And it's the most liked comment in the video. There's no answer to it. I'm like, yes, like this comment. The answer, from what I can tell, all right, and I listen, if there's some like fucking wizard to Premiere who's like, oh no, the answer's here, right? All you got to do is do boodly 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 boodly, right? That's like the best way to go about it. I'm fully willing to be like, you know what? That's awesome, great. I'd even love for someone to come in here and be like, just tell me, be like, yes, all you gotta do is this, and it works. If that is the case, though, it's not intuitive, right? It's not fucking intuitive at all. Some super really basic stuff. Like, it's so weird. Like, why can I not, like, even just the fact that I can't center the image here for an actual image is mind-boggling. Also, I hate how I can't just grab things. Again, in Camtasia, I grab something on the screen, I can just grab it. Now I gotta go up here, and then I can drag it. It's little things like that. And I know a lot of this stems from my own personal, like, I have been using Camtasia for a billion fucking years, right? Obviously it's what I'm used to. If you use Premiere and you use this stuff for a long time, you probably go to Camtasia and find things that bug the fuck out of you as well, like probably performance. That's still my issue. And like I said, the performance of this thing just fucking blows the other one out of the water. So what was the answer, by the way? What did I end up having to do to get this shit to work? The answer was, not this program. Ema basically explained to me, as someone who does use this program a lot, he said, oh, the answer is that Premiere's not very good with shapes. If you want to use visual stuff, you want to make visual things, you use Adobe After Effects. You need another program entirely. Adobe After Effects has basically all the things that should have been in this fucking program. It has the ability to snap. It does a lot of the stuff that Camtasia does. It's much deeper than Camtasia, though. You can easily snap things. You can center objects. You can just, like, again, it works. It's relatively intuitive. Again, it's more complex than Camtasia. I wouldn't say it's probably as intuitive or simple, but you'll figure it out, right? There's tutorials online. There's answers to it. Unlike Premiere's stuff here, where I legitimately couldn't find answers to some of this shit. That's why I was like going crazy. And I was able to put together, this end card was done through Adobe After Effects. Now, one of the nice things is that you can basically make things in Adobe After Effects and you can put them into Premiere. They work side by side. And something that I couldn't do in Camtasia, you can change things in Adobe After Effects, save it, and it changes it on automatically what you have on Premiere. That's really fucking cool. It's super cool. But man, I can't say I'm not a little miffed that I can't just do the most basic shit, right? This shit is not complicated, all right? Making this end card is not complicated. It shouldn't be complicated, but Premiere made it complicated. It made it very complicated. Simple things of snapping, of being able to fill the screen, right-clicking something, say, set to screen size, sets the screen size. It's not here. It only seems to work sometimes with certain video types. Like the video, I think it works with videos. It doesn't work with like images and shapes. And I'm like, why? And this is where I've run into problems before with Premiere. I've tried before. I've actually, you guys might remember back in one of my Yakuza playthroughs. It might have been Yakuza, maybe it's Kwame 2. I had to use Premiere for some reason. I can't remember why. I think it may have had problems with Camtasia. And I had problems with the same thing. But the time, I legitimately just thought, I'm just stupid, right? It's here somewhere. I know this program is fucking Adobe. These programs are insanely powerful, and it is. It's very powerful. But this shit is so, like, it misses some strangely basic stuff. This is my big critique against Premiere here. my big problem with this program. It's great performance and its ease of cutting and working on the timeline, which is just, it's fantastic. All right. Super great. No matter how many cuts I do, it still plays back.
Quest complete.
Fantastic. It doesn't allow you to do things with graphics and visuals very well. And it requires way more time and effort to make than I feel like it should. The fact that I have to open up Adobe After Effects, which is a supremely, like, you can do like way more complicated things than fucking just making shapes, right? Like, that's like the most basic bitch shit. I legit couldn't believe that Adobe After Effects was my answer to this. You could like make the most crazy bananas 3D effects in Adobe After Effects, all right? Nah, man, I just needed to have some shapes, resize to the size of the canvas, and then also shrink at a certain aspect ratio. I need Adobe After Effects to do that. I can't do that in Premiere though. So this is what I spent all of yesterday working on and learning from Ema. This is what I've been trying to like figure out what the best way to go about it is. Because the problem is I'm still not certain I want to switch to Premiere yet. But man, some of this shit is so good. Like, oh, I love this playback.
All right.
I love it. I love this.
Complete.
I love this ease of cutting. Look, it's so good. It's so easy. Why isn't this shit easy? The good news is now that I've made it, I can just use it again, right? I'm good for pretty much the remainder of this series. The problem is that when it's come to I have to change it and shit. Like, the thing is, it's so much easier in Camtasia to just make this thing, all because of basic small little functions that you probably wouldn't even think that be that big of a deal, but it really changes things. That's it. That's really it. And if this had that, I'd be like, nah, fuck. I probably would have gotten rid of Camtasia a long time ago. And that's what I always ran into. Every time I came back to this program, that's the problem I always ran into was this. And it's really frustrating when you've been doing this shit for, like I said, 9+ years. And you can't do something just that simple, right? It's not even a case of like you don't know what to do because you don't know where the menu is. It's that the program itself doesn't even have it. It's actually just not there. And so you're basically searching fruitlessly for something that really doesn't exist but should. If I want to cap this off on for you guys, I want to watch a little video. I love this video and it's very relevant.
Look, all I want is an honest conversation about the pros and the cons of our relationship. Premiere. It's shit.
It's shit.
Media encoder. Shit. Dynamic link. Slow and shit. Fuck.
Fuck.
This is a very unhealthy relationship.
It's so good. I love that video, man. Similarly, he's probably in that same feeling that I am, where why have I not been able to quit Camtasia despite my issues with it? It's because it's what I'm used to. It's what I've been using for so long. It's hard to switch to something else. When I first asked Ema about Adobe Premiere, I asked him was there anything about Adobe Premiere that you find frustrating, that like you're like, is it like this isn't up to snuff? And he didn't actually give me anything. He was like, oh, this is actually pretty good. I found some stuff though, but this is coming with the knowledge of a different program. Don't get me wrong, all right? I am by no means claiming Camtasia is perfect. It is not. But it does the things that I need to do for certain things. Premiere does some of the things I need to do. You need an additional program and to also pay more money to Adobe. Maybe that's why they do it. Maybe they want you to pay that full fucking membership fee, so you, like the big giant fee, so you get the plethora, the suite of all the different Adobe's products. So they don't include like basic shit for like graphic editing in Premiere. No, you got to do Adobe After Effects. Maybe that's what it is. Either way, though, it fucking sucks. I don't like having to, like, I need another program to be able to do this super basic shit. The shit I'm doing is not rocket science. It's not making a fucking Pixar movie, right? You can make a Pixar movie, dude, in Adobe After Effects, all right? That shit is that powerful. So that's what I've been sort of going through the past few days. And I'm still trying to work out. I'm still trying to figure out, what do I want to do? Do I want to stick with Camtasia? That doesn't run well, but it has a lot of nice. Oh, and I'm stuck in a version from 2018, and I seemingly will never get away from it. Oh, you just for funsies, you guys want to see real quick why I don't use 2021? Do you guys want to see what the sudden like the issue is? This will be quick. It won't take but 2 seconds. All right. So hopefully this I'm sure it's gonna work great. It's really, I didn't do it. This is a 1080p 60 FPS video, right? It's not that complicated. And I can work with it in this specific version of 2018 version. What's wrong with the 2021 version, Nico? Okay, there's an image. I'm like, wow, scrubbing's pretty bad, but maybe I just gotta wait for the audio to finish loading. In previous versions, I will say it's a slight step up. In 2019 and 2020 version, it just crashed the program, by the way. It would like start to load and then just goes, and then it crashes. First off, playback's a bit rough. This is supposed to be 60 FPS. This is definitely not 60 FPS. And by the way, when I render it, it stays this shitty frame rate. Oh, oh, wow, glorious. Okay, so let's make a cut. Let's see how it handles that. If I could get, oh, scrubbing. Oh, look at this beautiful scrubbing.
The enemy hasn't noticed.
Okay. Oh, hey, it handled that pretty well. Sort of. That time it didn't. There it goes. Hear that? I was waiting for it. That's the sound. Inception sound. Oh, there it goes. That's it. Oh, it's a beautiful scrubbing experience. It's so random when it does it. I can tell you guys can see what's happening, right? Yeah. We're getting caught up. There it is. It's just like a fucking nightmare. You can't work with this. Even if it didn't render in pure ass, which it does. This is why I don't use this version. Give me a good slideshow. There it is. Create proxy. It doesn't work. By the way, if you're wondering, what is a proxy? A proxy is a lower res, smaller file version of the video that you have. So if it's like, it's going to decrease the resolution, it's going to maybe look a little fuzzier on my end, but it's fine. When it renders, it's not going to affect the quality of the video. It's just going to allow for me to more easily scrub the timeline. It doesn't work. Sadly, does not work for this. The problem too is I swear to God, I have talked to the guys that make this program, TechSmith. He was telling me that Camtasia doesn't like files with this very specific issue, which was like a variable frame rate and other things, which again, I'm not doing anything crazy, right? This is OBS and like the most basic shit. Like this is shit that they should already be fixing and like preparing for, but they don't. And at one point I'm like, can I get it? Okay, could you please give me a help tab to tell me what do I need? Like what is a recording, like aside from, they have Camtasia recorder, which by the way, it's shit. Like give me something that works. Like what will give me a video file that will work with your program? And he sent me a link, which sent them to a help page for Camtasia from like 6 years ago. And it recommended Fraps. God damn it. 2021, you fucking suck. I hate you. I want to love you, but I hate you. But this is what has sort of been going on with me. What I'm trying to figure out in terms of my own workflow, what works best for me, what do I have the most patience for? I might still go back to Premiere because now I've technically got kind of the hard stuff out of the way and I can kind of just work from there. That said, I will miss my little behaviors. You know, those little things I can mess around with the letters. I can't do that in Premiere. I'd have to do something a little more complicated. But you know, when you do something every day for 9+ years, or almost every day at least, you know, I mean, I've learned a lot. Like I've done a lot of great work in Camtasia. Like I can't fully say that it's a trash program. I think probably the Camtasia people might be even surprised what I've managed to do with their little program. It's nice even having a limited tool set can really take it for let you actually like expand it in certain ways. But dude, man, they need to keep up. All right, this shit, this compatibility issue with videos, fuck, dude. It sucks. I really want to be able to use the new versions. Premiere, it's shit.